for Wednesday, March 22, the 81st day of 2023. There are 284 days left in the year. Good morning, MB, guiding you through In the Know at K105. On Litchfield's Country Station 1039 The Moose, live online at K105.com, via the Apple and Android smartphone app using the SoundCloud, iTunes, or Spotify podcast. On Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, and the hashtag is In the Know. Coming up today, we'll update you on the latest news headlines from around the community, the county, the Commonwealth, and the country. How long will it be dreary weather-wise? We'll find out about that. And got entertainment news, got a whole bunch of stuff for you. So that and a whole lot more coming up today here on In the Know. Settling into my left, rolling Mach 9 with her hair on fire, is my beautiful wife, the beautiful girl. It's Beach. Good morning, sweetheart.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm okay.
About, probably the average of once a week, once every 10 days. I hand you something right before the show that isn't going to make it to the show for
Yes.
whatever reason, but
Yes.
it's something that appeals, like it's something about you and I or whatever. And then, but today I handed you something and you looked at it and you looked back at me as if I handed you a piece of gold. You said, "This is right up my alley."
Yes.
What was it?
Well, it was to read like for audiobooks, or you can do like synopsis for like the jackets of books. It was great. Well, it was funny because you were taking a drink of your coffee when I said, "This is right up my alley," and he almost not spit out his coffee, but he got tickled.
Well,
So
yeah, it is exactly
right
right
up
up
my
your alley. For someone who loves to read books,
Yes.
for someone who would love to review books, and then someone who wanted to be the voice of The Moving Sidewalk is Ending at the
Absolutely.
airport, for you to record audiobooks for people, it seemed like
It's
that's
right
right
up
up
my-
your
yep.
alley. So coming to audiobooks near you,
Thanks,
your
yeah.
voice. Over there in chair number 2, we say good morning and welcome back to Grayson County Extension Ag Agent, Miss Whitney Carmen. Good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm great.
You and I are we're the head of the class.
I know.
In the old K105 office pool. I noticed you're playing nice with me because I'm in first place and you're in second place.
Yes.
But you know that it's only, by the end of tomorrow, most likely you'll leapfrog me, because when I looked at it
I'm
previously.
just a point behind currently.
You're just a point behind, but the next round games are worth 4 points
Yes.
apiece. And let's remember, you can still score up to 144 points. I can score no more than 89. So it is only a matter of time before you leapfrog me, because your national champion pick is still in the running.
Yes.
Mine flamed out on day one.
Yeah.
So I'm
Unfortunately.
enjoying being at the top of the leaderboard momentarily, but this is like the third round at the Masters. Some guy goes out and shoots way low early and then is in the clubhouse all afternoon looking like the winner or the leader, but then everybody catches him and then passes him and goes on. So that's me. I'm just trying to enjoy it while it lasts, because normally I'm not up at the top of the leaderboard with you.
Well, I mean, I'm not always at the top of the leaderboard either, but it's nice at the top. I almost sent you a message that said, "How do you like the air up here?" But I thought I'm not going to get you conceited,
Well, your
because a
odds.
lot can happen.
The smart money is on you. One, because historically, maybe outside of last year, you're really good, and you've got one of the highest possible, if not the highest remaining point total possible. So you're looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, I'm not real happy about my championship pick. I'm not a fan of them, but it is what it is.
It's being good at picking those brackets, are making the choices that might go against your heart. Mm-hmm. You use your head to pick the choices instead of what you want to happen.
Yep.
And so, were you mad Sunday afternoon?
I was frustrated.
I
Just
kind of.
I mean, I wasn't sad. I mean, I expected it because, like I said to you, I would be happy if they busted my bracket, because I did have them going out in this round. However, just the way that they did it, it was like the game was hard, and then they just I don't know. It just wasn't the way it should have ended.
Had a couple of people go cold at the worst possible
wrong
time for it
Right.
to happen. We're going to see rain drying out this morning. I know there's a drive-through produce distribution going on at the fairgrounds today with the Alliance that just started a few minutes ago, but will end My presumption is while supplies last, but then until noon, I think, was the window. So, but I think the rain is moving out of the area for the remaining hours of that today, so shouldn't be too bad. We're going to see cloudy skies tonight after some morning showers today and high of 56 this afternoon. Cloudy 62 tonight. We'll see cloudy, breezy, and warm tomorrow, a high of 78. And then you get a little further into the forecast, we may see some heavy rain develop late tomorrow night, and Friday looks to be a pretty wet day. But at least temperature-wise, we're continuing to improve. The Litchfield City Council met earlier this week and heard a proposed ordinance that waives garbage fees for homes under construction, appointed a former city council candidate to the Litchfield Planning Commission, and handled some other business. Former city council candidate Missy Mudd was appointed to the Litchfield Planning Commission, replacing Leon Shaw. They had the first reading of an ordinance that waives garbage fees for homes under construction. Under the proposed ordinance, garbage fees will not be applied until the project is complete and properly occupied. Parks and Rec Director Tammy Saltzman gave a report that there were 354 kids that were signed up to play baseball this year. That doesn't include Clarkson's figures. But 140 girls to participate softball, 106 kids scheduled to play t-ball. By the way, coaches still needed in all divisions for those that want to participate. And then gave some information on something they are hoping to have later this year called Challenger Baseball, which is a baseball league for those with physical and or intellectual disabilities. They're hoping to have like a 4-game season after the regular season. You know, they have their regular season that usually wraps up in late June when All-Stars start and that type thing. So they would have like a 4-game season, maybe last 4 weeks or maybe 2 weeks of 2 games each, 1 or 2 innings. And then the players have what are called on-field buddies. So you would have other kids that might normally play the sport that would be on the field with the others to help, coach or instruct on, we're going to throw the ball over here, or now we run to first base, or that. And I think it's a really neat thing.
I do too.
That is so cool.
There's I think it's sort of, it's in the same realm. They call it beat ball. Is it for the blind?
Yes.
Where
yes.
where the
beats.
ball beats. Yeah. And so they can.
And it comes close, and that's how they know. And so they use their ears to detect which direction, or when, and I think they roll it in. So it's a kind of a combination of kickball
and
but
baseball.
But the ball makes noises. So anyway, I think that's
great.
I think it's a forward thinking thing that is wonderful. I think I think that it's
This is great.
a great idea. The last couple of weeks, you've been hearing what we kind of call the Daniel Cameron teddy bear commercial. And it's through some type of Commonwealth PAC. And my guess is the presumption is it's a pro Kelly Craft organization, but it might not be, because the thing about those PACs, they're pretty, not a whole lot of transparency in some of what they call that dark money stuff, because they don't answer to the same rules as organizations or candidates and et cetera. They don't have to disclose as much information. So it's been puzzling, and it's a puzzling message to me, because I never had, prior to 2 weeks ago, I never had the perception or the impression that Daniel Cameron was soft on crime. You could have told me he was a bunch of things, but I didn't have the thing.
Right.
Daniel Cameron is soft on crime? Like that doesn't seem to make sense to me, but that's the message that they're trying to tell. But in an effort to counter that, yesterday they had dozens of law enforcement officials from across the Commonwealth came to the aid of Daniel Cameron yesterday to combat this new attack ad. In a joint statement, a group of sheriffs, police chiefs, and prosecutors said Cameron has, quote, taken decisive action to improve public safety. The statement was in response to this grizzly bear thing. You'll probably hear it before the show is over. The back and forth reflects an increasingly combative contest between the Kraft and Cameron campaigns leading up to the May primary. 12 candidates are in the mix. I thought yesterday, I guess, depending upon where you are in Kentucky, it's Cameron Quarles Kraft, Cameron Kraft Quarles, Kraft Cameron Quarles. Like, I think those are your, I think
Your
that's
top
your,
three.
I think that's your win place show. No matter what. Now, I think you got little pockets. I think in Grayson County, those numbers are a little bit different because you got a local resident who's one of the 12. I think when you go to Somerset, you get a little bit of a different, you get your calculus is a little bit different there because that Keck, that the mayor
Yes.
from there. So you'll see those numbers a little bit. But statewide, I see this being a 3-horse race. But it's weird for me for them to try to paint Daniel Cameron as being soft on crime. It just so.
I mean, he is the attorney general, so it is what it is, though. But I think that those PACs are. You can at the end of it, it says they don't disclose. They don't have a party.
Yeah, and if you
but,
look, and of course we have the paperwork on it too. It's some PO box in Frankfurt with
Yeah.
some person that I've never heard of. That's the treasurer, and that's all by design. Kentucky's average gas price was $3.17 a gallon as of Monday afternoon, the same as Sunday. A penny more than last week and 13 cents above a month ago. But it seems like they're starting to flatten out. I was somewhere 2 days ago and the price was down to $3.04, which surprised me. I thought $3.04, like that's quite a bit different than what I saw just a week or so
what
ago.
I paid for it just a few days ago.
Well, and what I saw even on down the road, like somewhere else, the prices were just normal. And by the way, I don't price shop gasoline and say I'm buying it here because it's cheaper. It's more of the things I observe when I drive. I go, oh, okay, well, there's that price and there's that price. I stop where I'm going to stop and just pay whatever it is that the price is there. Now, if there's two stores side by side and say they were 25 cents difference, then I might go, well, I'm going to drive over here.
Well, I was frustrated because I did the same thing I would normally not do, but I was like, I need to get gas, but I waited. Well, it was like $2.97, and then it was $3.15 the next time. I thought, my goodness, Whitney, you should have just did it.
Yeah. Well, that's why you don't
Rookie
procrastinate.
mistake.
Why you're
I
not supposed
know.
to
I know.
You're still a rookie?
Well, but
I like
you know.
it. I like you thinking of yourself as a rookie.
I like to think that I don't.
Still no final word on Ronnie Lee Goldie Jr., the Commonwealth's attorney for Bath, Menifee, Montgomery, and Rowan counties, who was impeached by the House, leading the Senate to form a committee to determine if the charges warrant his disqualification from office. In his opening statement yesterday, Representative Daniel Elliott from Danville, who chaired the House Impeachment Committee, he told the members, the most somber duty we have as legislators is maintaining the integrity of public offices. As the Constitution dictates, this includes removing bad actors from office. The House impeachment approved 3 articles of impeachment for the Senate to consider. One, that the Kentucky Supreme Court issued a suspension rendering Goldie unable to fulfill his duties in office. The nature of Goldie's communications with the defendant, which were done without her lawyer participating. And the quid pro quo committed between the defendant and Goldie. So we've covered this story at length, but it is the official proceedings in the legislature are taking place, and now the Senate will have to be involved. And it's, he resigned effective February 28th, although I think he submitted the resignation about the 14th or so. But they're determined to make sure that this can't happen again with this individual. It's like, well, I resigned, but 2 years from now, I'm going to run again for something. And if the people are foolish enough to elect him or her, whoever is committing it. So I also told you the last elected official to be impeached in Kentucky was in 1991 when Butch Burnett was impeached after being convicted of theft. But in 1888, State Treasurer James W. Honest Dick Tate, that was his nickname, Honest Dick, was impeached, tried, and convicted in absentia when he disappeared after taking $247,000 from the state. That was in 1888.
That's a lot of money.
It was.
Oh, my goodness.
But they tried him in absentia. He was never seen again.
Well, Well, I mean, with that amount of money.
Honest
I mean, I
Dick
guess-
took his $247,000
Right.
and
Yeah,
went
he
to
did.
Mantanawabo or wherever they go in Shawshank Redemption.
He was out of there.
He got, well, the getting was good. You can impeach me if you want, but I got your $250,000.
Yeah. Golly.
That is funny for his nickname to have honest in the title. Now, saddened and somber. I was reading this story yesterday and saw it various places. This little boy in eastern Kentucky that, I think this happened on, maybe it happened on Monday. An eastern Kentucky boy died following a freak accident involving a basketball goal. He is a second grader from Corbin. He was 8 years of age. His name was Eli Hill. He was retrieving something to stand on so he could dunk a basketball. While he was in the process of trying to dunk, the backboard came off and a pole struck him in the chest. I presume one of those side supports that holds the goals in place. He was rushed to UK Chandler, where he was pronounced deceased by the Fayette County Coroner's Office. He was a student at Corbin Primary School and extremely sad. But reading the details of it made me remember. That's the weird thing about accidents. And it's not that girls don't do these types of things, because they do. But I think about the number of times that I tried to stack something on top of something or ramp your bicycle, or like just building these weird things when you're playing outside, and you don't think anything of the danger of it certainly at that age. And then, unfortunately, these weird freak accidents happen, and this family is devastated.
Yeah.
As a result
so terrible.
you want your kids to go outside and play.
Yeah.
Like you just go, hey, go outside and play. Have fun. And you saw the picture where this young man had been to Rupp Arena and, had his picture taken with the Wildcat.
Yeah.
So, just like lots of other boys in Kentucky, they're in the driveway, they're making the game-winning shot, they want to dunk like Oscar, they want to do whatever, and then sudden freaky accident causes a loss of life, and it's just extremely sad. Hate to hear it. Former U.S. Attorney Russell Coleman, who is unopposed in the primary for Kentucky Attorney General, got an endorsement yesterday from former U.S. Attorney General Bill Barr. Bill Barr was the AG, one of the AGs during the Trump administration. Russ Coleman, of course, then was serving Kentucky as in the U.S. AG's office by district. It's weird. There's one Democrat and one Republican, so they each have the nomination. The endorsement timing is weird when the primary hasn't been held yet. But I guess you get endorsements whenever you can get endorsements. And then I was reminded the last time we talked about Russ Coleman, he's got connections to Grayson County by marriage. So, okay, one other story. You've been hearing the news about Miami and all these towns in Florida that are invaded by spring breakers, and Miami finally had to basically pass curfews and say, we're not selling alcohol after 6 o'clock and all that stuff. There have been shootings down there and all that stuff. So it is, even Panama City, like this time of year, no alcohol on beaches in Bay County this time of year.
Right.
Just to keep spring breakers away. And so it's interesting that you go to those links in order to.
It stops them. Though.
Well, I mean, but it gives them the ability to run them off the beach.
Yes, it
if
does.
they can, they've got some teeth to it now. But after using a butter knife, this happened in St. Pete, after using a butter knife to cause extensive paint damage to a 2023 Nissan, a Missouri man vacationing in Florida copped to the criminal mischief, described his felonious conduct as a spring break mistake. According to cops, the vehicle's owners, a married couple, spotted a man standing near their car Thursday evening and making motions near the driver's side. When the duo confronted the man, he laughed and ran off down the street. They examined the car and found the entire side had been scratched up, had extensive paint damage, and on the ground next to the car was a silver butter knife that was used to damage the vehicle. They found the guy, arrested him, and he said it was just a spring break mistake. This dude is 52 years old.
Wow.
Well, not only
right?
that, he had to have been on something.
I mean,
Or not.
I want to know how
something
he was
wrong.
dressed.
Absolutely.
Was
You-
he?
Yeah. What did he have
Was he
on?
wearing the beach shorts and
Yeah.
flip flops, no shirt? Was he?
You cannot blame,
No.
you're giving Spring Breakers a bad name, but he's 52 years old, and his wife had to come bail him out.
I'm not surprised.
He's not some college kid, acting a fool in
I've
Florida.
seen some adults act more foolish than
True.
teenagers.
They certainly
so.
can. We got to get to a break. We'll come back. Got more on the way here on In the Know.
If you're the average person, you only think about income taxes from January to April. But the choices you make 12 months a year have a big impact on your tax return preparation and even your refund. Making adjustments to your financial matters during tax filing season is like trying to lose weight during a routine doctor visit. The certified public accounting firm of Buckles, Travis & Hart work year-round to advise clients on important financial decisions so that during tax filing season, you're carrying a lot less stress and worry. Join the Peace of Mind team with Buckles, Travis & Hart, 270-259-5604 or GraysonCPAs.com.
If you've ever considered a Christian education for your child, St. Paul Catholic School is a growing, vibrant school in a small, intimate environment, providing an excellent academic education with Christian teachings from preschool through 8th grade, reasonable tuition, bus transportation available, and numerous extracurricular activities. Start your visit with St. Paul School by calling 270-242-7483.
Register now. Class sizes are limited and filling up.
We didn't forget about the crumbs at the bottom of the McCrispy bag. We're just prolonging our time with every last bit of crispy, juicy, tender. For a limited time, you can enjoy every last bit of the new Bacon Ranch McCrispy sandwich at any size Southern style sweet tea for only $1.29. Take a bite of our latest McCrispy at McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer.
The Grayson County Health Department has been a staple of our local community for years, and our dedication to serving hasn't wavered. The Health Department offers several services. We have a clinic ready to serve the community when needed. We also perform environmental services such as permitting and restaurant inspections. We have a committed team of hands workers too. They love working with new moms and dads and collaborating to achieve strong parenting skills. And we have an education academy that offers free education resources for our local schools and residents. We are here to serve you. For more information about GCHG, visit our website at myhealthdepartment.org.
Are you looking for a stable career with excellent benefits, 401k match, paid time off, and tuition reimbursement? Cormark is here. We are ready to support you and your career goals. When you join us, you'll discover a culture that encourages you to grow and challenges you to achieve. We embrace each employee as family. Our incentive pay structure rewards you based on your own performance. Show us your commitment, and we'll show you how to earn the money you deserve. Call a recruiter today, 270-259-9341, or stop by for an interview. Walk-ins welcome. Cormark is an equal opportunity employer.
Google is stepping into the artificial intelligence world with a new chatbot. It's called Bard, but not everybody will be able to use it right away. That's because only a limited number of users in the U.S. and Britain will have access to it right now before it eventually expands. Bard is entering the marketplace after other products from companies like OpenAI have made a splash. A new app that is powered by OpenAI's latest technology will automatically take patient notes during a visit to the doctor. Microsoft and its Nuance Communications subsidiary announced Dragon Ambient Experience, or DAX Express. The technology is powered by a combination of ambient AI, which forms insights from unstructured data like conversations, and OpenAI's newest chatbot model, GPT-4. And NVIDIA is expected to reveal new artificial intelligence chips and other related technologies during the company's annual conference for software developers. Last month, it was announced that NVIDIA is going to launch its own cloud computing service. Check report, Mark Nafy.
Today is As Young as You Feel Day.
I'm back.
It is Sing Out Day. It is Bavarian Crepes Day. Do they do crepes differently in Bavaria than they do in other places?
No idea.
No. And what, like pancake-like desserts and then like rolled up? They're kind of thin pancakes and you roll them up.
Well, they're made with eggs. Crepes are made with eggs.
They
right?
are.
Yeah, they are.
Wheat flour or buckwheat flour, then filled, rolled, and then topped with glazed fruit, chocolate, whipped cream, etc. It's also International Goof Off Day.
Well,
A day to relax, be yourself, and generally just goof off.
too bad.
In other
I know, I have
words,
to work
a
today.
regular day called a Wednesday. Whitney Carmen is our guest co-host today, and spring has sprung officially. And of course, you've got farmer clients that are gearing up for the season, but even smaller farmers also are participating. Like you're involved in the community garden.
Yeah,
Isaiah?
the master gardeners have the community garden, and they are accepting. You can call the office, I think, if you're interested in having a plot. If you don't want to have a garden yourself and you want to grow produce for yourself, it's behind the hospital, and they have plots for rent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very, very good. But your plot is your plot. Do you have
For
to
the year,
You have
yeah.
to guard your plot. You have
Well,
to sit out there all
it's
night.
community, so
keep the critters out of
yeah,
your garden.
you do have to do
human critters too.
Well, I don't know about human critters, but it's usually pretty good. But there are the little varmints that run around.
So is the soil already tilled?
Yeah, it's already in there. Everything is in there. Then you amend it and do everything that you want to do with
You
it.
pick your weeds.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we have the public library in Grayson County is a wonderful facility.
It is.
And wonderful people look after it. But they take the concept of library broadly, in addition to having books and albums and periodicals. There's also a seed library.
Yeah. And another Master Gardener project, they have seeds that you can get from the library in a package, and depending on what you want, there's all kinds. I think that they are going to be filled in the next week or so. So be looking out for that. But any sort of seed, vegetable seed, fruit seed, some of them have flowers in them, but there will be some of those at the library.
Okay. I was so excited the first time I learned that was there. Okay. But it was like really, really cold, so it hadn't been restocked. There were still a few
it goes
things
fast.
in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I told him I was so excited. I was like, oh. So.
And the plant fair. So in the seed library, there will be some promotional stuff for the Master Gardener Plant Fair, which is the first weekend in May. And
Yeah, it's right in, like when you walk through the main doors, it's right there on your left when you walk in.
And is it safe? You said the first weekend in May, but is it? Can you presume
It's
that
usually
the
always
fair
Derby
is
Day.
Derby Day?
It's usually Derby Day.
Which, I mean, makes sense,
Yeah.
because of the roses.
some people
and
say
the
it's
lilies
Mother's
and-
Day weekend, and I was like, no, because Mother's Day is usually it depends on that weekend. It's always on Derby Day. Yeah.
Well, and Derby Day is not always, it's the first Saturday in May. So depending upon how you score your weekend, it couldn't be.
A lot of people do that. They go to the plant fair, they get their flowers, and then they come in and watch the Derby.
Also the time of year where you do spring cleaning on various things. And I read spring cleaning season bearing down on us. There's been a variety of methods that have been talked about online on how to clean it. And there's one, how to approach your cleaning. And one is called the rounds method. It's getting some attention. And the trick is that one person says cleaning in rounds helps her ADHD brain way better than traditional cleanup methods. She goes on to demonstrate how she moves from room to room, tackling the same task in each and moving essentially in a circle. Well, what's weird to me with this concept, when I read it, I thought, I don't know that I have ADHD brain, but I do have probably not OCD brain, but OC brain. This is how, if I were dusting, I would just dust everywhere. And I would go in a circle. If I were vacuuming, I would. Are there people that go to one room and just do everything in that room and then move to the next room?
Oh, yeah.
There are.
I was going to say, I would almost venture to say, I'm trying to think of what I do, because when I do it, I don't even think about it anymore. I do a room at a time.
I think yes.
Because now the way my house is laid up, I have to do that though. Because, for my vacuum to reach from one end of the house to the, I've got to move it. And so I'm not going to, now my floors, like in my main area of my house, I do all of those at one time. because I have 2 living rooms essentially, and so I have to do that.
I think it's a clear indication that never have I been in a situation where I had to clean the entire house. That if I am involved in the cleaning, I'm involved in certain aspects of
Okay.
the cleaning. So, like, I've never minded to run the vacuum cleaner. So if something needs to be done, it's like, well, you run the vacuum. Well, if that's my primary task, then obviously I'm just going to vacuum
And it's our-
everywhere
yeah.
and be finished.
Right.
But then say you don't mind dusting. Okay. Well, do you stir up the dust with the vacuum cleaner and then dust? Or do you knock the
Top to
dust off the
bottom.
shelves
Top to
in the
bottom,
floor
yeah.
and then get it with the vacuum cleaner, et cetera?
Did your Meemaw not teach you how to clean house?
Oh, no. I mean, I know, but yes, I know top to bottom,
Okay.
but then I'm also the person who wants to get really technical and go, but vacuum cleaners stir up dust. So then is dust settling on what you just dusted?
I just
could
need to
talk for a
check it
long
off my
time.
list.
Yeah.
Okay? That's
okay.
it.
So yeah, and the other thing is I have. Well, anyway, I could talk for days on it, but I do like to clean. That's a weird thing for me, but I do the same now on the OC part of it. I do the same routine every time I go around the house, and so I will start in one room and make my way around every time.
Okay. I guess maybe if I were on the outside of a house and said, okay, you've got to clean the entire house, I might you have to do all aspects of the cleaning in all rooms. I guess there's a chance I may take the checklist aspect and go, this room is finished, this room is finished, this room is finished.
Yeah.
But in my life, I'm only doing
Certain.
some of the tasks. So I do those and, of course, just go from room to room doing that task. And then I might have to
I mean,
do
that
the
makes
other.
sense.
Yeah, it does. But I think mentally, when you finish one room, it gives you that sense of completion for one room, and it gives you more encouragement to go on.
Yeah. And my kitchen is always my last to clean.
It
I'm
is.
super weird about kitchen.
Do your kids, Whitney, does Jackson use the word ick?
Yes.
He does? Okay. We're not.
Yes.
Alea's not old enough yet where ick is in her parlance just yet. But ick is an idiom that kids are using these days. And it's used to describe as a sudden turnoff to something like ick. Ugh. Well, apparently, here are 5 things. Once you got your house cleaned up, if you've got a real estate agent involved, here are 5 things that immediately give real estate agents the ick. Strong scented plug-ins.
Yeah, because what are you trying to cover up?
That's right. It seems
Yeah.
deceitful, like you're
Yes.
trying to distract. Get it. You got to get it right. You got to get the scent, and you got to have it just right. But don't do anything that's really, really overpowering.
I like lemon.
Okay.
That's a good.
Listing photos shot with wide angles. If you only get wide angle lens shots, like you're catfishing someone. So give a fair balance of cocky photos of listing agents. You know, the agent that's driving the luxury car and the diamonds are falling off of them and all that. The big Rolex, and that is an
My mom just
Ick
got professional
factor.
photos done this weekend. I want to know what hers look like.
Oh, I want
I
to
have
see
to
one
call her
too.
out.
I hope they're not icky.
I hope not either. I doubt it.
Sellers adding an emotional tax when pricing their properties. You know, the people who think that because it's their house, that it's worth $100,000 more than
yes.
somebody else's. Where if the roles were reversed, you know, they wouldn't be that way. Well, that's the emotional aspect. But we lived here, and there's so much life, and this is where we raised our family. Well, that doesn't mean jack
Right.
to the people who are.
No.
You know, and then cosmetic updates that sacrifice functionality. So you get a lot of people that'll go in and they'll try and slap a coat of paint on stuff to make it look good for the listing. Or you're going to retile the shower, but we're going to do it ourselves to save money. And then you don't get the sloping right so that all the water drains to the back because you don't know what you were doing trying to save money. So all these things, you're better off just to leave it functional and then let other people do what they want to do with it. So Those are 5 things that can make it a little
I can
bit.
agree with all of those things.
Yes,
Icky.
me too. Listen, if you say ick to me, I'm going to ask you if your fish is sick.
I was gonna say
You know?
my son probably thinks I'm a big ick right now.
I'm
So
going to be like, oh, your fish has ick?
we're
Okay.
at that age where mom and dad ick.
I got it.
Yeah.
You know, the old adage, I've heard this adage throughout my life. I wouldn't kick her out of bed for eating crackers.
Oh, yeah.
You heard that one? You
I'll
know?
change it up sometimes, like Doritos.
Yeah. A man warning his wife that she's snacking too much has divided the internet as people insist that she shouldn't have a snack bin in the bedroom anyway.
I mean, I don't eat in my bed, so I can't
Oh.
say anything.
This Reddit user, she asked, am I the butthead? She explained that while she tries to be healthy, late night snacks are a vice. The poster and her husband both have endocrine disorders, which cause cravings throughout the night. So the woman said that having a snack bin in the bedroom isn't a medical necessity. It's purely a choice that they made for when they can't fight their temptations. However, when the poster woke up at 5:30 a.m. one night to grab some crackers, her husband made a comment about how unhealthy it was to be eating at such a time. Well, I mean, it's breakfast time.
Yeah, I know,
For
right?
me, I've been up
been
an
out.
hour.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, hello.
At
But-
4:30 a.m. comes early for me, so by 5:30 I'm hungry.
So I'm not saying that we've never had snacks, and I'm not saying that
Sure.
snack baskets are a bad idea, although I think I've decided that they are. I think
In the bedroom or snack baskets in general?
in the bedroom.
Okay. I was gonna
In the
say
bedroom,
now.
I think accessibility is a lot of the key.
Sure.
At least for me, accessibility
Sure.
is a lot of the battle. On if it's not there, I can't eat it. If it's on the other end of the house, I have to go get it.
Okay, secret time. I just put a lock on our pantry door.
Really?
I like it.
I want
Getting
to hear
rated.
more. Yeah, I want to hear more about this. Yeah,
Well,
in the break
I-
or whatever. But
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so I wouldn't need a basket. I just need. I mean, my peanut butter sits nicely on my nightstand.
Well, here's what I was
I don't need a
wondering though.
basket.
But you
was,
also, I would hope, are not going to get peanut butter all over the bed. Now,
I mean,
crackers, they're going to make
Oh
a mess.
yeah, they are. I mean, I can't say that I've never gotten peanut butter on the sheets, but probably not very. I mean,
the crackers, A, are the mess.
Yes.
But B, if he's trying to sleep at 5:30, then they make noise. But my takeaway was from that was peanut butter is very quiet.
Yes, peanut butter is very quiet unless you drop the spoon on hardwood.
Oh yeah, that can,
Now then-
that can happen.
Yeah,
But-
I understand that.
But I also thought there is zero wasted peanut butter.
Oh,
It
absolutely.
is quiet,
Yes.
and there is none wasted, so it can't get on anything. So if she could get her face in the jar,
Yes,
that girl loves her peanut butter. We got to get to a break. We'll come back. Got more on the way here on In the Know.
For more than 70 years, Owensboro Health Twin Lakes Medical Center has cared for the health of our friends, neighbors, and family members in Grayson County and beyond. We've celebrated every beautiful newborn, every successful surgery, and every healed injury. Owensboro Health Twin Lakes Medical Center is focused on finding solutions to your health challenges. As part of the Owensboro Health System, we want to keep you healthy. We want to make you proud.
Daniel Cameron is nice, but he's no strong Kentucky conservative. When the Biden administration tried to stop construction of the border wall, Republican attorneys general filed suit against Biden's woke agenda. But Daniel Cameron refused to sign. And not long ago, the real Daniel Cameron worked alongside the ACLU trying to eliminate felony charges for some drug possessions, and even to eliminate cash bail. How's that working out in San Francisco? With drug overdoses killing thousands in Kentucky and crime rampant, who would we rather have leading Kentucky? A conservative grizzly bear? Or Daniel Cameron, Kentucky's soft establishment teddy bear? Paid for by Commonwealth PAC, P.O. Box 491, Lexington, Kentucky 40588, and not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. Commonwealth PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Are you being audited or investigated? Has the IRS sent you a letter demanding payment? You may not owe what they claim. Make this free call to the tax doctor now. Let them negotiate with the IRS on your behalf. Call 800-631-9123, 800-631-9123. That's 800-631-9123.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251.
Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
This is Kentucky, where the only thing ordinary is the unexpected.
I got everything you need.
Horse country, legendary distilleries, rivers to paddle, lakes to splash and relax, big city vibes and small town charms. This is Kentucky. Come see for yourself. Plan your road trip at KentuckyTourism.com.
I got everything you need.
The Kentucky Department for Community-Based Services is hiring. DCBS invites you to be part of an inclusive team of caring professionals that helps all Kentucky families through a rewarding career in family support or social services. They have job openings in their county offices across the state and offer great benefits like hybrid work schedule, competitive salary, paid holidays, and many opportunities for training and promotions, plus state employee discounts. Go online to chfs.ky.gov and enter DCBS jobs in the search field. It's a new day at DCBS. Join them, an equal opportunity employer MFD.
K105 Weather is brought to you by Future Designs Building Materials on Quarry Road in Litchfield.
Twin Lakes weather.
Will gradually dry out through the morning into the afternoon hours. We're going to see afternoon temperatures in the 50s for today. Temperatures actually rise overnight as we remain cloudy. Once we head into tomorrow, breezy and warm with highs in the 70s. From the Wave News Storm Tracking Team, I'm meteorologist Tawana Anderson.
Did you know? Kissing someone is more sanitary than shaking hands if you want to avoid a cold.
I can believe that.
Interesting.
That means kiss on the cheek, surely.
I don't know.
Is it no?
I don't know. I mean,
all I have to contribute is a dog's mouth is cleaner than a human's.
Okay, so maybe it is just a I don't know. Can you look that up?
By the way, we got so involved in talking about peanut butter. I didn't get to the story about this dad says that his ex is a bad mom because after the kids go to bed at night, she orders DoorDash and she eats.
Well, did she feed the kids before they went to bed?
They were fed, but she said, by the time. So here's the thing: she got the kids put down. It's her quiet time, like it's the time. And again, by the way, he's not there. They're living.
So mind your own business.
She's raising. Well, here's what happened though. That is completely. I can see where you go. Okay. If that's your time, you're probably working a job all day, you're raising kids at night, you get them put to bed, you need something for you, and kids don't really care if the chicken nuggets come from the store, whether they come from the refrigerator. They're just going to cover them in ketchup anyway. But one night, finally, she fell asleep with all the restaurant stuff still out. The kids got up before her and asked if there was any left over for them, and she had to say no. So then their feelings were hurt because they figured out she's ordering DoorDash after they go to bed.
I'd be like, well,
I don't know. There's a lot there.
There is a lot to unpack there, and I still have personal feelings that he should just mind his own business. And then I would tell my children, I'm sorry, but you're a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, but he had to find out about it from the kids.
Oh, yeah.
So they ratted her out.
Also, how were they getting up before her? Because in my house, that does not happen.
Yeah. There was you're right. There was a lot there to sift through.
So many questions.
But but the premise was, it was all going along fine
Until she got busted.
Until they
Until she
found
got
out.
busted.
But
Yeah.
you know, I used to tease Taylor and tell her that we had pony rides after she went to bed and things like that. And she knew that wasn't true, but it was funny. You know, like, oh, we have lots of fun, like
I don't know if
circus.
anybody done DoorDash lately, but it's expensive.
It's getting But what turned out to be a really nice workaround during COVID. Now they've created some crack addicts.
Yeah. Now, I don't do it. I've done it one time, and I'm like, I ain't doing that again. I'll just drive to the store.
When we were at the beach last year, I did the old. They tricked me into the Dash Pass, and then I realized that was happening for several months. Going, we're not using this at all, so I just trying to put an end to that stuff. Ed Sheeran wrote a new song for Ted Lasso that he thinks is very good. There's a new documentary on Disney Plus called The Son of It All, and I think maybe he even samples the song. I don't know that they're using it in Ted Lasso, but he wrote it for that. Says it's good.
I didn't on the first episode. I didn't pay any attention. So.
I've not made it all the way through the first one yet. So, well, I got distracted one by the NCAA tournament.
I was going to say you got distracted.
And then I've been watching I fell asleep during episode 1 on Wednesday when it came out.
You fell asleep.
Then the NCAA tournament on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But now I'm out on the tournament, pretty much. But then the World Baseball Classic has had my attention part of this week. So it's just not enough hours in the day to watch all the good content. Ed Sheeran I don't know if he's got an album coming out or what, but he did an interview with Rolling Stone. Yes, he does have an upcoming album. That's why he's doing a press junket. But he said that he wants to make an album that will only be released after he dies, which I thought was really neat concept.
Sure, but why not enjoy it?
Right. And you're pretty young.
Absolutely, he is young, but he doesn't. None of us know when we're going.
No, that's true.
But he wants to put some. You know how we love to find music from artists that have
I was
gone.
going to say,
and we go,
so it's sort of like the
undiscovered.
Prince, and it's sort of like okay.
But this is a deliberate move, and the way he's changed the game on the music business by going around the music, the record companies. This is a very avant-garde move where you just, I'm going to tuck this away. He doesn't need the money, and so he's leaving something for his kids. Who his second daughter's name they have released in this interview, Jupiter. They have Lyra, Lyra, and Jupiter.
Oh, I would have. Is it Lyra or Lyra?
It's Lyra, but I assumed that it had something to do with lyrics.
Okay.
If I were a songwriter named Ed Sheeran, who wrote some of the best songs of our era, I would think I would name my kid Lyra. Now, in Grayson County, we're going to call it Lyra.
Well, and the reason
but
I
in
say
Great
that,
Britain, I figured it was Lyra.
and it probably is. I just was thinking there's a show, and I can't think of the name of it, but it's based on a book series, The Golden Compass, and the girl's name in that is Lyra, and it's spelled like that.
Okay. Well, it may very well be.
Interesting.
The new season, the fourth and final season of Succession, is coming out this weekend, and Brian Cox, who plays the dad, is delighted that the show won't outstay its welcome. He said he's happy it's over. Now he can go back and focus full time on being the McDonald's spokesperson. So he does the breakfast bagels are back at McDonald's.
Okay. I didn't realize that.
That's Brian Cox. He did the McCrispy thing that you heard just a few minutes ago. And he plays the character Logan Roy on Succession. So the fourth and final season comes to HBO this weekend.
I just know him in Super Troopers.
Oh, right, yeah. Well, when Succession came around, I had to go look at how many things I recognized him from.
Yes.
Whereas, like, oh, he's not the lead, or
No.
he can play. He's so chameleon-esque. He can
do
play
it.
so many different things, but his voice is such a signature.
That's true.
Bad Bunny's ex-girlfriend files a $40 million lawsuit for allegedly using her voice without permission. So when they were together and before he was famous, she recorded the phrase on her phone in a bathroom in 2015 called Bad Bunny Baby, and he had used it as a sample in some of his music. Well, keyword ex-girlfriend, and now biggest pop star in the world, and now she says, hey, you use my voice. I'd like $40 million for having, for you using my voice. As someone who is a big proponent for intellectual property and that type of thing. I get it. Our voices have value, and so I mean, I get that.
Yeah.
But I also don't get this. You were dating this kid who you didn't know if he was going to turn into anything. He was just your boyfriend. You recorded a phrase that there's probably 10 million girls who have said something similar, and they're floating around on phones everywhere, but that's not worth $40 million.
I was going to say, what makes you, I mean, other than the fact that you're, a star, what does that?
Yeah, so it's kind of like, to me, it's my guess is if she was not the ex-girlfriend and she was still the girlfriend, the $40 million would not be an issue.
Right.
That's I suspect that. So poor Bad Bunny. He'll probably be okay, though, would be my guess. We got to get to a break. We'll come back, wrap it up for the morning here on In the Know.
When you visit an unfamiliar city, there's no better way to get from point A to point B than to catch a ride from someone who knows exactly where they're going. One of the best cities in the world for that kind of service is London, England. Believe it or not, cab drivers there know more about the city than our GPSs. That's because the process for becoming a cab driver is considered one of the most difficult in the world. The examination, called the Knowledge of London, requires years of study. To pass, cabbies must learn each of the city's 25,000 streets, as well as every tourist attraction, business, and historical landmark located there. Cabbies can answer your questions, share unique insights, and get you to your destination with no wrong turns and as few delays as possible. Navigating life can be as difficult as navigating an unfamiliar city. We come to a crossroads, and our uncertainty paralyzes us. We don't know which way to turn, so we refuse to move. We wander aimlessly, or we become passive and simply hope that everything works out. A better approach is to seek wisdom and insight from someone who can answer your questions and help you get where you want to go with as few delays as possible. When life feels uncertain, a map can be helpful, but there's nothing like having someone who will come alongside you and show you the way. For Focus on the Family, I'm Jim Daly.
We're entering a time of hostility against the faithful, a time when Christians are going to be tested on a moral, physical, and even financial basis, unlike any other time in your life. Hi, I'm Lance Wallnau, Christian author and evangelical leader, here to remind you that you are the one that has to take action to protect and steward the gifts that God has given you. For example, with record high inflation eating away at the dollar, many people's savings and retirement is going to start to evaporate. Fortunately, God always provides a way to fight back. To protect your retirement, I recommend that you diversify your 401k or IRA right out of paper assets and into physical gold. And the best way to do that is with Gold IRA from the Birch Gold Group. Now, to see how it works, just text the word DIVINE, D-I-V-I-N-E, to 989898 to get a free info kit on Gold IRAs. There are no strings attached, so text DIVINE to 989898 right now, and I pray your family is blessed with continued prosperity.
Attention Medicare beneficiaries. You can now get COVID-19 tests sent to your home monthly at no cost to you. Get up to 8 at-home COVID-19 rapid antigen tests delivered directly to your home for no cost. With free shipping, dial pound 250, keyword COVID test now to get your COVID-19 test delivered to you at no cost. If you're on Medicare, dial pound 250, keyword COVID test for up to 8 at-home COVID-19 tests monthly delivered to you at absolutely no cost, including free shipping. Dial pound 250, keyword COVID test. That's pound 250, keyword COVID test now.
MB's Point to Ponder for today. What would it say if the last text... Wait, I'm going to wait until Whitney finishes.
Okay,
this might,
sorry.
Go ahead. No, finish your thought.
No, I'm good.
Okay, because it's gonna change the answer to the question.
Okay.
What would it say if the last text message you sent was written on your headstone?
Well, do you want to know the ironic thing about this is? Can
Sure.
I please share it?
Yes,
it's not
of course.
bad.
No, go right
Let's
ahead.
shoot for next Wednesday at 3:30.
Oh, that is
Okay.
fantastic.
All right. So mine is, no, looks like a normal day so far.
Yeah,
Because that's
'cause
what
that
I
was to
sent
me.
you. You wanted to know about the traffic
Yeah.
conditions in North
Yes,
Litchfield.
yes.
And I said, no, looks like a normal day. So imagine that on my headstone. No, looks like a normal day so far.
Yours are good. Yours are
that's
good.
funny.
Mine is just thanks.
Well,
Thanks.
I mean,
Oh,
how
well,
mean
that's-
thanks.
Thanks.
That's pretty
Thanks
funny.
for stopping by.
that would be
You know,
good.
if
There
it's on
you-
my headstone.
There you are in your Earth suit,
Thanks.
Earth suit in eternity, laying there, and your sign above you says thanks. Like,
It
well,
would kind of match my disposition,
Yeah,
right?
I was gonna say. I mean, it fits just like mine. Let's shoot for next Wednesday.
I'm not
Lordy.
sure about today. Next Wednesday.
now I realized before I asked that could have been dangerous.
Yes.
But as I was about to ask the question, Whitney's thumbs were in action over there. It's like, well,
Oh,
this is
right.
gonna.
Wait
If
a
I had
minute,
asked this 30 seconds ago, it could be a completely
And
different.
you know, it could have
answer.
been. You never know. You never know.
No, you don't. On television tonight, I think you will be able to look in on Survivor. If you're so inclined, The Masked Singer is on Fox, and on Bravo, The Vanderpump Rules. I don't know what that is.
I think it's another reality show, isn't it?
Probably. If it's on Bravo, they do a lot of that. I was going to watch that Below Deck on Bravo because it was about these yachts
cruise.
and ships, and I thought, oh, I would like that would be a fun way to live. And then it was just like soap opera stuff, and I was like, I can't watch this. I don't want any of this nonsense. Can you show me more of the boat, please?
Yeah, I want to see more of that. You can take tours of like your cruise ships and stuff. Did you know that on deck you can do those?
Today's highlight in history, this date in 1894, hockey's first Stanley Cup championship game was played. Montreal defeated Ottawa 3-1. Intel unveiled the original Pentium computer chip this date in 1993. Birthdays today. Pat Robertson is 93. William Shatner is 92.
Wow.
Singer-guitarist George Benson is 80. James Patterson is 76. Andrew Lloyd Webber is 75. Bob Costas is 71. Keegan-Michael Key is 52. Guillermo Diaz is 48. Guillermo Diaz played Huck on Scandal.
Okay.
Cole Hauser is 48 today.
I know who Cole Hauser is.
Do you know, honey?
Not yet.
You will. You do.
He is Mr. Beth Dutton.
He's Rip.
Oh, okay.
Rip on
But he's
Yellowstone.
also in, with Dazed and Confused.
I read a bunch of lists. I
Dazed
read
and
the list
Confused.
earlier, and what's funny,
not my
Yellowstone
jam.
wasn't listed in his credits.
Really?
Nope. Reese Witherspoon is 47. Constance Wu is 41. Gone but not forgotten. Chico Marx in 1887. Louis L'Amour in 1908. Carl Malden in 1912. Werner Klemperer in 1920. He played Colonel Clink on Hogan's Heroes. Hogan. 3 days in the cooler. Marcel Marceau in 1923. Didn't say a lot. Let's go to chart toppers. 1957 was the year. Buddy Knox was the artist.
Fingers through my hair.
And Party
Come
Doll.
along and be my party doll. Come along and be my party doll.
Party Doll. 1966 was the year. The Rolling Stones were on the scene. And 19th Nervous Breakdown.
Just can't hide your eyes are edged with tears. You will stop. Look around. Here it comes.
I wish I liked the Rolling Stones more.
was
I
gonna
liked
say,
the
I just-
documentary that they did on them, a few, like on Showtime or something last year. I found it interesting to have the perspective of each of them, but just collectively as the Rolling Stones, I'm kind of like,
I
Okay.
respect them just
Yeah.
because they've been around for so long, but I just am not a.
well, they got some legendary licks, you
Yeah.
know, just the riffs you hear, but there's just something about them. They're not my go-to whenever I think, oh, let's listen to some good rock and roll.
No, me either.
Frankie Valli, number one at 75. My eyes adored you.
So far. Carried your books from school.
This song plays a very interesting role. It's pivotal in Jersey Boys on the why he had to do the song, because it was 75, which is really kind of a long time after their heyday. Do you remember? Have you seen Jersey Boys?
I mean, I've seen parts of it. I haven't seen the whole. Like I've seen snippets of it.
It was a financial move. He had to have a hit in order to pay his debtors, and so he wrote "My Eyes Adored You." The Statler Brothers, number one in 84 with Elizabeth.
Really good.
You're hoping for something really good?
I mean, like,
Okay.
are we
you
getting?
go.
Are we getting
You're
there?
getting there.
Okay. all
Sorry, I
right.
snuck a peek.
No, by all
If
means.
it will play.
Maybe.
Go over there and kick it if you want to.
And it'll play the edited version.
Oh.
Before I have to pull the strap out the cut. Give me the microphone first.
I was gonna
I
say,
don't know how much of it I can play.
I was gonna say,
That's
give the
okay.
edited
I've got
version.
the rest in my head. That's all right. I'll take that.
I saw it on the list. Not many number ones on the pop charts for those guys, you
Yeah.
know. So the fact that they got one was in 1993.
I was gonna say, I bet that's who that was. Yep.
Kind of impressive. By the way, that was, there are some people that don't know that was Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg. Hands Clean, Alanis Morissette, number one in 02. Lady Gaga, Born This Way in 2011. And Dua Lipa, Don't Start Now, number one 3 years ago today. Whitney, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having
Good
me.
to see you as always. Have fun moving into first place tomorrow or Friday or
You
Saturday
never
or
know.
Sunday. Oh yeah, surely by then. You're just 1 point behind, and you'll have the lead by the end of the weekend, I'm pretty sure. MB's Brillo wisdom for today: setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into the visible. Setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into the visible. MB's Brillo wisdom for today: remember, God loves you, and I do too. If you don't know Jesus, let me know and I'll introduce you. Look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow for another edition of our show. For Whitney Carmen, for Beej, I'm MB, and now you're in the know.
Powering through the Twin Lakes with the best mix of music, news, weather, and fun. If it's in the Twin Lakes,